After a contentious election, it's common for political divisions to bring out a range of responses, particularly regarding issues related to women's rights. Disclaimer: this video is intended to spark discussion and highlight systemic issues. It's important to acknowledge that not all men hold these views or engage in harmful behaviors. However, it's crucial to address the patterns of behavior that contribute to gender inequality and harmful stereotypes. The goal is to foster understanding and promote positive change, not to generalize or vilify. Some men may respond in ways that seem dismissive, patronizing, or outright insensitive to the concerns women express over rights and freedoms. This episode explores some of these responses, the motivations behind them, and the potential societal underpinnings driving these reactions. The claim of innocence: "I just voted for Trump." Some men may insist they supported a candidate solely for reasons like economic policy, immigration, or national security while distancing themselves from the impact on women's rights. They may claim they didn't vote against women, but simply in favor of policies they believe benefit everyone. This response often stems from a reluctance to be accountable for the broader implications of their vote. By framing their support as issue-based, they avoid engaging with the reality that certain policies disproportionately affect women's rights. This response can also reflect a compartmentalized view, where men feel justified in ignoring the broader impact on women in favor of specific issues that resonate more with them personally. Dismissive objections: "What rights are you losing?" This is a common response to downplay or outright deny the erosion of rights that many women feel deeply affected by. Some men may respond with comments like, "What rights are really being taken away?" or "Nothing is changing. This is just media exaggeration." This reaction is often rooted in a combination of privilege and lack of exposure to the direct effects of restrictive policies. Because men aren't as personally impacted by limitations on reproductive rights or other gender-based policies, they may not fully understand the gravity of these issues. But do they want to learn? Are they engaged in the process? Do they have someone they know and love that is affected by it? Waiting it out. It will blow over. Some men will respond by saying things like, "Everyone's upset now, but in a few weeks, no one will care." They may try to shift focus to other topics or suggest that people are overreacting, hoping the current intensity will subside. This approach allows them to avoid taking a stance or acknowledging the impact of these decisions, hoping that time will lessen the backlash. Some men may go silent toward the issue or intentionally. Often, this tactic reflects a deeper unwillingness to engage or empathize with women's concerns, as it requires little effort or responsibility. They may be hoping that the uproar will fade so they can avoid any uncomfortable conversations or shifts in power dynamics. Seeking reconciliation: "I know you're upset, can we move on?" They can't wait to move on. It's the same tactic when in an abusive relationship. The abuser wants the victim to forgive and forget right away. Then they go and do it again, whatever it is. Abuse is cyclical, it happens over and over again, same patterns, and different approaches, so the victim doesn't recognize it's the same game. Some men may attempt to repair the rift by asking for mercy or forgiveness without truly addressing the underlying issues. They may recognize that they're in the doghouse, but may not fully understand the scope of what they're asking for. This approach often reflects a desire to maintain the relationship without addressing the root causes of the hurt or harm. By asking for forgiveness without taking any accountability, these men might be hoping to restore harmony on a surface level so their lives can continue with the comfort they had before without any change, inner work, or contemplation. Finding humor in women's pain: the laughter the men have for women. Some men may laugh off women's frustrations or minimize their concerns with humor. Some men might make dismissive jokes or appear to find entertainment in women's emotional responses. For some, laughing or finding humor in women's pain can be a mechanism of control. This reaction often stems from a place of privilege, where men can afford to view these issues as irrelevant or exaggerated. Laughing at someone's distress can also reflect a sense of superiority, as it allows the person to feel unaffected by or even above the other's concerns. This response can signal a deeper lack of empathy and unwillingness to understand the struggles that women face. Here's where it gets a bit more devious. The laughter some men have toward women post-election is a clue to their lack of empathy. It's one way or the other. I will go further in that some men actually enjoy the distress that women are facing. Is men's laughter the opposite of empathy? Yes, men's laughter toward women's distress post-election can indeed be seen as the opposite of empathy. Empathy involves understanding, sharing, and respecting someone else's feelings. Laughter at another's distress suggests detachment, dismissal, and sometimes even enjoyment of their discomfort. This reaction can stem from several factors, such as an inability or unwillingness to acknowledge the significance of the issue to women, indifference to their emotional experience, or even a sense of superiority in seeing someone else's beliefs shaken. Such laughter may invalidate or downplay women's experiences, which not only lacks empathy but can actively erode trust and connection. At its core, empathy would encourage men to listen, understand the impact of these political events on women, and acknowledge the validity of their feelings. Empathy has been construed to be a weakness in the face of men. It's tenet number 412 of Masculinity. Laughing, on the other hand, creates a psychological distance that blocks any real understanding or support, making it the antithesis of an empathetic response. The men are going to watch, and I'll add, and not support women. They will back away. They will go into their man caves and build stuff. They will not lend out a hand and provide emotional support. They're watching women's responses with interest, waiting to see what actions or words may arise from the frustration and pain they've witnessed. And they are already coming up with their next tactics to play against women. Instead of offering support or acknowledgement, these men choose to remain silent, refraining from empathy or engagement. This lack of active support or acknowledgement can intensify women's sense of isolation, as they recognize that those observing their pain may have little interest in challenging the status quo. The women have to come together and support one another. We have to be each other's voice. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more videos. Hit the bell to be notified, and we will see you in our next video.